start gearing this thing up. So I'm checking in on my signals here to make sure everything is running smoothly. Looks like we're doing okay. We're gonna do some Spelljammer tonight. Let me fix my windows and stuff here. There we go. Hey guys. All right, so Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. We are creating a Spelljammer Eberron campaign. And we've got a bunch of documents that we're using to do it. There's a bunch of playtest material that we've been working on. The actual campaign workbench itself is located in this link here. And all these are read-only documents that are works in progress. Eventually, they'll be available for you to view on the DMsGuild, like the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document itself. Here on DMsGuild, if you click preview, it'll pop open a PDF for you to read the full book. We're going to be using this as our base mechanics for the mecha, kaiju, pirate ships, and dwarven citadel mechanics for space combat during the campaign. So you are welcome to check that book out, and if you're into that kind of stuff, then bless you if you decide to buy it to support the dream. The Bastion campaigns is how we're running the campaign, in that we're running Bastion turns, so each week will be an episodic adventure that will be, overall, it'll be episodic by the adventure will be episodic inside of a serial campaign, where I'm guessing every 4 sessions will be 1 week, 1 adventure, and then we'll do random events to the Bastion and the communities that the team is overseeing to determine what the flavor of the adventure will be for the following Bastion turn. And we'll have, we're just going to run for 8 months. It'll be 4 weeks per level per month. So we'll start at 5th, we'll end at 13th. And yeah, so you can check out this Bastion campaign book. We're going to be using this to create the communities that we're working with and setting up the facilities inside of each of those settlements and communities. We're also using the Warforged Machines, the Spelljammer Kaiju and Constructs book. We got to rename that. And this is laying out an expansion of the Spelljammer mechanics that we built to use, instead of fish and insect-shaped ships, to have ships that are shaped like people. So that become mecha, or like Gundam or Evangelions. And we also have mechanics for supersizing creatures into kaiju forms, and we've been casually picking away at a way of translating the actual level of these things outside. Like if you're fighting a kaiju in a vehicle that's in the same scale as the kaiju. Like for example, if we're fighting a 50-foot displacer beast, if we're in 30 to 50-foot mecha, then the displacer beast's CR is going to be roughly the same as it would be as though it was normal sized, and the characters were were just normal characters, because the hit dice and the damage and the attacks and all that stuff are still using the same level in CR of the pilots and the giant creatures. It's just the increased size gives them more hit points and more damage to compensate for the larger vehicles and siege weapons and amplified spell casting that we're capable of doing with the spell jamming equipment. So it's a pretty easy transfer, but fighting a 50-foot displacer beast when you're just in your 5-foot square with your sword in your hand, kind of difficult to calculate what that, like what that CR would be, like what that adjustment would be. So we'll probably just end up tacking on like plus 20 CR to each creature if they're 50 feet or larger, because that's the size of the Tarrasque, and that's the kind of damage output that they can put. So, but they're still easy to defeat. They're just super big. I mean, like, you can still shut them down, like Dominate Monster and stuff like that. If you have an amplified domination spell, because the domination spell won't just command a creature that's 100 feet in size or so. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be utilizing. I don't think we're going to need this document today, but I think in the near horizon we will be using it. I think we're going to be focusing our attention inside of the Bastion campaign today, and building out facilities for our different communities. And here in Photoshop, this is the asteroid cluster with an enclosed atmosphere from asteroid to asteroid across tens of thousands of miles. And then if we zoom in closer, this is the actual community inside of this 10,000 mile square zone here. That zooms down into these 500 mile squares. This is a 20 by 20 space that this community is in. And this is all one continuous atmosphere that runs. And then out here, this is also atmosphere, but it's fouled air, it's poisonous. So when you breathe it, you have the poison condition until you can get a breath of fresh air. Let me get this out of the way and push this down here. So I'm going to go into the actual campaign document that we have. And we've got six communities that we have in here. We have Capital Rock at location 1. It's a third-ranked community with 4,000 some odd population. Number 2 is called Crag Falls, and it's a town. It's a village with a population of 300-ish. Number 3 is Redstone. These are both mining colonies. Redstone has a population of 700 plus. Fell Tower, number 4 over here. It's just a hamlet, more like a fortress with some houses around it right now. And it has a population of 50. Far Hope over here, we developed in our last session into a fun little community. It's got 900 some odd people, and then that was Far Hope is here, number 5. And then number 6 is Scaver's Cove, which is here, which is a small hamlet that's starting to expand because of developing space fishery. So I'm going to mess around. I'm going to be messing around with these guys today. I'm going to grab some dice. I'm going to roll some. I'm just going to roll a percentage to see instead of just being a flat 700 or flat 300, I'm going to roll to see exactly how many souls live inside there. So I'm just grabbing another D10. There we go. And it is 46. And oops, I need 3 digits. Nope, 46 is good. So 346. Um, 769. 51, 914, and 92. Cool. Let's see. Something that, okay, so we have Capital Rock, we have Crag Falls, we have Redstone, we have Fell Tower, we have Scaver Cove that we've been developing out. It has a barracks, and a barracks can have up to, a first-rank barracks can have up to 10 mercenaries. Mercenaries. Unique bastions, and then Fishmonger's Hook is a unique bastion, which has its own second-rank barrack. A second-rank barracks can have up to 100 soldiers in it, and but the population of Scaver's Cove is only 90, so it can have more than 10, less up to 100, so anywhere from like 1 to like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. So we can have, let's go ahead and throw down, I feel like it's got like 20. Garrison barracks equals 20 mercenaries, and up here barracks hamlet militia equals 9 mercenaries. There we go. That feels right. Anything lifestyle, harvest, lifestyle, scout, trade with Capital Rock. And recruiting. Pub, sleep with the fishes. How about sleepy fish? It's got a pub. It keeps one in its pocket. Hamlet Militia. Barracks. Let's see. We got room. Oh, armory. We have training hall. I think I can get. Can I get a training hall at first rank? Let's find out. Hold on. I think so. Training area is second rank, so no. Go with training area, and we're maintaining a lifestyle already. We're gonna pocket 5 Bastion points for rerolls. I get 1 PB. Hello, folks. We are pocket 1 PB BP. We are designing communities for our D&D Bastion campaign for Spelljammer Eberron. Each of these asteroids are large enough. They're actually small planetoids. They're large enough to maintain spherical gravity. But like these 2 communities here are mining an iron mine here, an electrum mine up here. This one here has a small space, like a wild space fishing community that they're harvesting clams and stuff like that from. So I'm developing out each of these communities, and right now I'm finishing off number 6, which is called Scaver's Cove, and we're just looking at some of the unique structures. So a settlement is an expansion of the bastion that is like the keep or the government, the administration building for that community. So once you establish a structure, you can start developing a settlement from that structure. And once you have a settlement secured, the settlement itself can have a number of like government facilities and stuff. Like you have the central bastion itself, which is its own stronghold structure. But then once it establishes a settlement, it can also have like guard towers over here and like a wharf and like stockyards and mining facilities, like different things that are controlled by the government of the settlement but don't exist inside of the structure of the central bastion. And then once you have that settlement put in place and you have the government infrastructures placed as different facilities, as standalone structures, then other people, independent NPCs that aren't part of the actual bastion can move in and build houses and start creating their own bastions inside the shelter of that settlement. So the central bastion, the central keep bastion control point is providing protection and commerce and security and a base level lifestyle for everyone that settles in that area. And then from there, like a settlement will maintain a settlement has to maintain a poor lifestyle for itself through economics and production and blah de blah. And once it does, then other people can move in, but they have to establish trade routes with external communities that already have higher ranked resources, like better resources, to help upgrade this new hamlet into a village, into a town, into a city, into a metropolis over time. So we express the structures and the size of the community and the number of different community structures and bastions that are within the settlement in the form of bastion points. So you accumulate bastion points, kind of like Renown. When you accumulate bastion points, you gain ranks. You can go from 1 bastion point at first rank up to 41 plus points at 5th rank. And so
1, 11, 21, 31, 41 gets you to 5th rank, and then there's nothing higher than 5th rank. It's just infinite points at that time. And each facility that you include costs 1 or more points. So when your Bastion runs out of points, you can't add any additional facilities. Bastion points can also be used as inspiration points to re-roll dice. The DM can decide to set a limit on how many can be used at any given time. But Bastion points are difficult to come by and quickly consumed. So I allow you to stockpile as many as you want, and it explains why a lot of mega corporations never lose, because they can just throw infinite dice at it, just like they can throw infinite lawyers at a problem. It's the Bastion dice act as more lawyers protecting the corporation from litigation and blame or liability and stuff like that. So everything gets expressed in Bastion points of either creating structures or re-rolling dice when you issue orders or ability checks, and if you fail the ability check, you can burn Bastion points to re-roll them. Bastion points also represent your hit points. So if your Bastion's under attack and it takes damage, you reduce the amount of Bastion points that you have, which in turn means that some of your facilities or resources are going to be unavailable because that structure has been damaged. It's a good Ludo narrative. The mechanic helps reflect the narrative of our fortress is damaged. What facilities did we lose? And if you were to build your ship, like if you had a ship and you built it as a Bastion, then like the engine room would be a facility, the bridge would be a facility, weapons would be a facility. And like when your ship takes a hit, captain weapons are down because you've lost structural integrity, you've lost Bastion points, and you had to sacrifice points somewhere, or the enemy targeted a specific facility with a sniping attack, and they disabled our shields, they disabled our weapons, they disabled our engines. You can do it the same way if you're attacking a Bastion. They burned down the garden, they torched the workshop, they fouled the well. You can target specific facilities to attack, or if you're just attacking the place in general, then the defender can decide where you're sacrificing the Bastion points from. It's a different vibe. If you're attacking with a siege, like a large army, the defender gets to decide what takes damage. If it's a sabotage attack with a small team that infiltrates or snipes a particular target, then the attacker gets to decide specifically what gets damaged for however many points you do. Sabotage generally does far less damage than armies can do, but they're also smaller scale, more difficult to notice, and they allow for counter espionage and small scale adventuring inside your Bastion to fight to fight infiltrators that are trying to damage particular facilities. You can then defend those different facilities inside the structure of your Bastion. If you wanted to run an invasion episode, like if this week you get invaded, it's like, okay, well, watch out. We'll have a map for our structures that we expect to get raided, so that if that occurs, we'll be able to actually map it out and play it in 5e combat. So right now I'm just cleaning up the Bastion information here. So I think everything is doing okay. Pocket 6 Bastion points. There we go. Okay, cool. And let's see. Recent events. Okay, so that one is good. Let's go to, I think I want to do number 4 next, which is Fell Tower. What size font am I using here? 14. Fell Tower. It's rank 1. It has 5 Bastion points. It has a population of, what do we determine? 51. On a 47-mile planetoid. 92 in Scabbard Cove. 712? 714? 714 in
14. Redstone has 769. Crag Falls has 346. And Capital Rock has 4,175. Perfect. Okay, cool. So those are all good. Fell Tower. Let's see. Let's create some space. Harvest materials, crop fields. And that's all it's got going on right now, doesn't it? Crop fields. But it's Fell Tower, so it has a fortress. Let's see, Bastion points, and then rank 1. Bastion points 5. And then orders 2. Harvest fields. So we have 1. We're going to have garden. It's going to give us a +1 die to harvest checks. Let's see. We want to have 1 point in barracks. This will have equals 4 mercenaries. We're going to have 1 point in... Oh, let's roll a d20 and find out. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sanctuary. Oh, interesting. That's going to be unique. Unique facilities. Church. Abbey of the Sovereign Host. It's going to have 1 point is going to go into Sanctuary. 1 point into Sacristy, no, Sanctuary, and a Sanctum. Sanctum. And how many points do you have? Hello, hello, folks. 5. To Sanctuary, Sanctum. Let's see. Smithy, spy stables, theater, trophy room, war room, workshop. Trophy room, and then pocket 2 BP. Orders. Maintain lifestyle. And then 1 is, I don't know, what are we doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trade, huh? Trade. Interesting. The Abbey is trading. Why is the Abbey trading? Seeking a holy relic from neighboring community. Okay, cool. That takes care of the Abbey. Let's bold this and push it to what, 12? Big bastions, thank you. Unique bastions. There we go. Abbey of the Sovereign Host. How many unique bastions do we have? We have to have the actual governing facility. We'll have 2. That reminds me. Pocket 3 BP. So the second rank settlement means that it currently has enough infrastructure built into the administration of the government to be able to support a village-sized community. Currently, it's only a hamlet. A hamlet's up to 100 people. A village is up to 1,000. A town is up to 10,000. A city is up to 100,000, and then a metropolis is more than 100,000 people. So this is a third-rank government, which means that it's a powerful enough leadership and structure to be able to lead an entire town, but it's currently only in a hamlet. And since it doesn't need to have a settlement, it doesn't need to have settlement infrastructure in place to support a town yet, because we're still a hamlet. We have to become a village first and then get up to over 1,000 people to become a town. So you don't need to invest more points than 2 right now. It technically doesn't need to invest more than 1, but it's putting in the footwork because we're at 90? Yeah, we have a population of 92. So as soon as this thing clicks over to 101 population, we can grow the settlement from a hamlet into a village. And that means that all of our structures can upgrade. So that's going to be one of the major priorities of the place, is to recruit more people. That's why we see Fishmonger's Hook using one of his orders to recruit. That is to bring more people to the community that it oversees. So we're looking at Fell Tower, unique bastions in Fell Tower. Let's see, Abbey of the Bugabop. There we go, okay. We'll go like this. Abbey, we'll bold that stuff. First rank, 5 PB. There we go. And then orders.
we'll find a common way to make these things happen. Right now we need Fell Tower Fortress. Is this first rank or is it second? Is this a second rank facility? Oh, a second rank structure? Is it first rank? Yes, it is. It is governing Bastion of Fell Tower. First rank. How many points you got? How many points you got? We'll give you D6 plus 4. 9 points. So we have 1 is government. 2 is 1 point into settlement. 1 point into barracks. 1 point into armory. 1 point into workshop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. We're gonna have how many people are in this community? 50. Oh yeah, it's got barracks of its own. Good. Barracks, armory, workshop, and then pocket 1 BP. Orders issued is 1 is always lifestyle. And another point goes into, well, we have a free order open. So we could repair, we could, oh yeah, harvest. Nope, you get to harvest for free for the community. Wait, but we're overclocked, aren't we? So we have to be issuing order, yeah. Harvest. That's the other order that we have to maintain. Harvest. Yeah, maintain lifestyle and harvest. That's the only two things he's going to do right now. Because they're trying to compensate for the lost food on Capital Rock because of this cold wave that they're sitting inside of is killing their crops. So our food is short. So they are ordering the satellite communities to provide more food to feed the people that are lacking. We'll go with pocket 3 PB, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got space for one more thing. What do I want? Let's go take a look. Storehouse. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to put the storehouse in the community. And we're going to put the armory in Fell Tower itself. We already have an armory in Fell Tower. Okay. Workshop, storehouse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So Fell Tower itself, government, settlement, barracks, armory, workshop, smithy, of course. Where's my mouse? There it is. 1, smithy. down here in Scatter. Do we have a smithy down in here? Pub, barracks, gardens, stables, menagerie, pub. Barracks, armory, guild hall, storehouse. Let's go with trade route, training area. Let's take the training area down to 2, and let's add a smithy for 1. There we go. That feels good. And Feltower's done. I only had 5 points, pocketed 1. I don't need a second barracks. Storehouse, garden, workshop, guild hall. What does the guild hall do again? Let's check out what the guild hall does. Wrong book. The guild hall. When issuing a craft order to create non-magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Recruit, you can issue a recruit order to attract experts. Trade, you can issue a basic trade order to acquire materials or non-magical materials of value. Related to listed rank for the facility. Now I don't actually need a guild hall. Garden green. We'll go with. Let's see. Meditation chamber, library, greenhouse. We could go with a greenhouse. Barracks, auction house, armory, archive, arcane study, pub. Pub makes sense. Pub makes sense. Okay, cool. Feltower is taken care of. Now let's tackle Far Hope. So Far Hope is the up and coming rival to Capital Rock. Is number 1 is the actual seat of government right now, but this cold snap that it's sitting, this unnatural cold that it's sitting inside of, is driving people away from these communities towards these homes. And so here, which is called Far Hope, it is quickly rising in population and could potentially transplant Capital Rock as the new capital for this cluster. And if things keep getting colder, we'll lose half of the cluster. There was a incursion from the oops, that's the wrong layer. Not there. There we go. These orbits around Eberron here. So this is Eberron in the center here. These are 10,000 mile squares. And these are the 12 orbits of the moons around Eberron. And where our adventure is starting here is between Furnia and Frisia. And Frisia is the plane of ice. Furnia is the plane of fire. In the most recent passing of Frisia, the moon, it passes through orbit like this, and these clustered communities are just asteroids that are free floating in orbit around Eberron, called the Tears of Sybaris, and they expand all the way out to the furthest reaches of the moons. So there's no asteroid clusters actually located on the paths of where the moons are at, because the asteroids would be destroyed or dragged away via gravity. So those lanes are currently clear, but there's only 1 day a month basically that a moon occupies this square. Otherwise it's open. Well, the last time that Frisia was located at this square here, it deposited, it basically summoned a bunch of ice elemental creatures that are now occupying that zone of space, which is located next to, it would be the square over here. And at this location here, at the 10,000 mile scale, this 20 by 20 space is 500 miles a square. So the zone of cold control from the ice elementals is causing this entire region of space to become unnaturally cold, which is killing crops, and it's damaging the forests that are in these 3 asteroid communities, and they are starting to erode. While these 3 asteroids are naturally seeing more migration of people trying to get out of the cold and potentially rebuild their life. And once we actually start seeing ice elemental creatures amongst the asteroids out here starting to close in on space, that's going to trigger a panic amongst the people, and that will increase the migration. I just don't know how soon that's going to happen. That's going to be one of the random events that could happen to this community every Bastion turn. Like giant size, like 50 or 250 foot ice elementals, kaiju elementals that are large enough to destroy the communities if they wanted to. We don't necessarily know what their motives are. We just know that their presence is creating this massive manifest zone of cold that's killing the balance of this community. And so we'll either have to find a way to resolve them, or potentially have to move on to another community over here, or cross the poison sea to try to find another community over here. There's pirates here. There's pirates here. There's Unseelie Court Fae over here. We're just gonna give them Drow branding. So Drow with spider ships are starting to populate this area at the edge of the cluster here, which is great that they're far away, but if they decide to start taking over territories, they could eventually find their way to our community. We could have Drow invading us in spider ships. That would suck. Droam is up here. Lazar pirates are here, and Loth style Drow are down here. And those are the 3 major threats. This is an allied community we haven't developed yet. And this is an allied community we haven't developed yet. But those are the only other 2, and they're pretty far away. I also want to come back through and flesh out, like, these blank zones here are naturally habitable areas between the orbits of the moons, and I need to flesh out the rest of the map. I didn't realize it'd be so fun building out these little these cluster communities. So I'm going to flesh out the entire Tears of Sybaris around the planet, and just lock down what the asteroids look like in general. Though I don't expect the campaign to stretch that far, because it's an XCOM style campaign. So they're going to be spending most of their time, each Bastion turn is a week. There's 1 adventure per week, 4 sessions per adventure, which means 12 to 14 hours of gameplay for us to get through whatever those adventures are. And so each month of real time that we roll over to a new Bastion turn, a new week in the adventure, we'll have a random event and then we'll see what are we trying to do with the communities, and where do the complications arise from failed ability checks. Each community makes ability checks to see if they can, like, harvest the grain, or like build new ballistas to fight off new kaiju that we know are coming, or whatever it is that they need to do, establish new trade route, whatever. It's an ability check, and if they succeed the ability check, they carry out the order, no problem, and we carry on. But if they fail the ability check, it creates a complication, and that complication is going to be themed around whatever the event of that week is going to be. So, we'll have to build a table for that, which we will. So we'll have a general event happening to the entire cluster as a whole. And then once we find where the complications are at in each one of these 6 communities, that creates our roster of potential adventures to go on that week, XCOM style. Let's go to this community here and fight the space sharks that are attacking the fishermen. Or let's go over here and help clear out the monsters that they found in the asteroid they're mining iron from right now. Or maybe over here on the frontier, there's ice elementals that are being noticed by advanced scouts that keep an eye out for stuff, and they're reporting back that there's giant ice creatures out here. Maybe the team wants to go and confront them before they start to invade our actual space. And so like those would be 3 different potential adventures that the team could go on, but they can only do one at a time. So if they decide to prioritize the monsters in the iron mine, then the scouts are going to resolve what happens with the elementals, and local militia will resolve what's happening with the scavers, and those will just be single die roll ability checks. And if they succeed the die roll, then we're able to move that forward in favor of the community or what the players wanted to do. If the die roll fails, they didn't make any progress, and in fact something went wrong that is going to require additional attention, perhaps becoming the next adventure that the characters are going to participate in. Or they're going to delegate it to say a bunch of the militia got eaten by the sharks. They failed the die roll to get eaten by the sharks, and so now the sharks are still a problem, and we've lost militia. So what are we going to do about that? Well, that could become a PC issue. Well, let's go take care of it ourselves before we lose more people. Or they could request reinforcements, like say from Far Hope, and bring in higher rank militia that'll have a better chance of taking out the fish. But that's going to require a favor from here, and they may have a cost associated with it. So we'd make the die roll to try to influence recruiting the troops to come over here, so that next turn they could attempt to take care of the scavers. In the meantime, before those mercenaries arrive, the scavengers are eating all our fishermen, and now we're having problems with harvesting fish, for instance. So that's the game flow. That's the idea of the game flow of how the campaign will run. So right now I am fleshing out the 6 communities. So we have Scaver's Cove figured out. We have Fell Tower number 4 figured out, and I think, what time is it? 7:18. Yeah, we got plenty of time. I got about 45 minutes, so I think we're going to work on number 5, Far Hope. So let's go ahead and bold that, and then take its font size to 14, and it has let's see. Second rank, right. Rank 2. Bastion points equals 19. Population. P19. Harvesting materials. Both sheep pastures and a wood forest. These are both, the sheep pasture is an animal resource, both food in the form of meat as well as wool and leather. And then the wood forest, of course, is naturally it's lumber as well as foraging and wild game. So governing Bastion equals Far Hope capital. Not very imaginative. And then Bastion points are 19. Its second rank. So 2 equals... We're going to put 3 points into government because it has 914 population. When it passes 1,000, the maximum amount of village second rank community, first rank community is a hamlet with up to 100 people. A second rank community is second rank settlement or whatever is a village which can have up to 1,000 population. Third rank is a town with up to 10,000.
Fourth rank is a city with up to 100,000, and then fifth rank maximum is a metropolis, which has more than 100,000 in it. So Farhope is second rank. The amount of Bastion points that I can have is first rank can have up to 10. From 11 to 20 is second rank. 21 to 30 is third rank. 31 to 40 is fourth rank, and then 41 points and more is fifth rank. So its population is 100. It can have up to 1,000 people. So one Bastion point is 100 people. 200, 300, 400, 500. And then once I get to 1,000, that'd be 10 Bastion points. And then once I roll over to more than 1,000, I can get another Bastion point for 11 points. And now I've bumped into the third tier of becoming a town. So this is 86. This is basically 87 people away from becoming a town. It's currently a village, but it's almost a town. So that means for it to become a town, it has to have a third rank government. So 3 of the 19 Bastion points are going into government, which means it now has enough points allocated to its infrastructure. Its administration bureaucracy is capable of handling the demands of a population of up to 10,000 people. When they cross that threshold into becoming a city, they'll need to have another point invested into government to further upgrade it to have a larger level of administrative management and bureaucracy to handle 10 to 100,000 people. And once it hits that 100,000 threshold, it has to expand again with 5 points to be able to handle basically administration of any size at that point. So, but a first rank Bastion can only have first rank facilities. A second rank Bastion can have second rank. Up to a fifth rank Bastion can have fifth rank. So I could have a fifth rank Bastion, but only have 1 point invested into government, which means I would only have I might have massive weapon capabilities and magical archives, but I only have enough administrative bandwidth to handle up to 100 people's needs. Then I also have to have a settlement. So I'm going to put in 3 points for settlement. And let's see, to be, hold on. Minimum sizes, so a hamlet has to have a minimum size of 1 mile area to be a settlement. A village needs to have a minimum of 10 miles to be a village. The problem that we're having is a town needs to have 50 miles of area to be a stable town. And the asteroid that we're on with Far Hope, the planetoid that it's on is only 40 miles in diameter. It's only a 40-mile rock. So it's technically not big enough to be able to support a town. But if that means, okay, so if Capital Rock, which is 67 miles, so it is big enough to be able to maintain a town, but this cold snap is reducing its capability, so it can't produce enough food, which is why people are leaving. So for Far Hope to actually be able to maintain the ability to house all of these people, it's going to have to incorporate like this rock is almost a day away. The distance that it's 10,000 miles per square. 500 miles. I'm sorry. It's only 500 miles away. That's an hour travel. That's an hour. That's an hour. That's 2 hours away. Okay. So what'll have to happen is, Far Hope is going to have to develop an additional source of land to be able to accommodate the additional people, because it does not it could do 1,000 some odd people. It could technically do it, but it's going to have problems. Like, this is large enough to be able to produce enough food for a population of a third rank community. But with this not being able to expand beyond 50 miles, that means it'll never be able to provide enough food for a third rank community. It's at best is able to do a second rank community up to 1,000 people, not 10,000. It's too much. And these small
little hamlets here, they're only capable of providing food for up to about 100 people. If you push them to try to produce more, they can only do 100 at a time. So they can barely scratch what's needed for a community of 4,000 that's losing their food source. So they need to expand this in 3 and 4 into size 2 communities so they can handle 1,000 people each. This would be able to handle 1,000 people. This could handle 1,000 people. This could handle 1,000 people. But between all of these, there's like 6,000 people. They're still only at half food. So they have to expand out to some of these other rocks that are undeveloped. So I think that's going to be the major crisis of this community, is they need to go out and start colonizing these other less desirable rocks that they had. Like, these are the good rocks. They've already gotten the good ones. Otherwise, there would be other communities on the other rocks already. These are the ones that were the easiest to develop. Now they're going to have to determine which of these rocks is still good, and can any of them provide enough land for us to be able to produce enough food. Otherwise, we're going to have if these are only hamlet-sized rocks, for us to get to 6,000 people, we only have about maybe 4,000. Maybe if we can get these guys up to second rank, we could probably carve out 4,000 people worth. That's still 2,000 people that need food. That's 20 fucking hamlets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, assuming this cold snap doesn't get any bigger. Now we have to drift out 6, 7, 8, maybe this could be large enough to be a town, but it's so far away from everyone else. That is a real danger, because there's pirates that attack from the east, and they might not have a problem with floating through the pirate sea for a few days to be able to get the drop on a lonely settlement that's overextended. But this cold snap stays in place, they're going to have to overextend themselves. I think this is going to be the next rock that can support a second, maybe third rank, like a village or a town. So these guys are at serious fucking risk of losing a bunch of people to starvation, or them having to migrate out of here, risk pirate waters to go to another settlement, or rough road it and head down here and start establishing these communities. Boy, oh boy, and that's dangerously close to Fernia. So when the fire moon comes by, it's in orbit over here. That's not too far away from this patch here. This was a really nice Goldilocks zone between Fernia and Frisia. It's just they didn't expect the manifest zone to cause a bunch of ice elementals to basically manifest in the asteroid fields out there. If they don't have any form of self-propulsion, it could literally take them lifetimes to get even just from that square to this square. But they're elementals. They don't sleep. They don't eat. They're just spirits. They're spirits forged into ice. And so they're animated ice. They don't have any real needs. They're just driven by a cause. And whatever that cause is, might just be to chill down this part of the universe. We don't know their goals yet. We just know that their presence here is creating a cold snap. Or rather, let's say the community knows that Frisia came by and it was full when it did, which is known to trigger manifest zones. And now we have a cold snap that's sitting on the spot. So they're guessing this means that a manifest zone was created in Frisia's passing, which means there could be ice elementals there, and if there are, their presence could be sustaining the cold burst longer than it should. So theoretically, if this cold snap doesn't go away soon, they're going to have to send an envoy out there to either get the elementals to go away or make them disappear another way. And that could be a 10th or 11th level quest, but our character's starting off at 5th level. So that might be a little bit more than they can chew right now. But they don't technically know. We don't know for a fact that there's elementals out there. There's just a good chance that there are, because the moon's already gone and the manifest zone is remaining, which tells us that there's an unnatural source of cold in that region now. There's a frozen planetoid of some sort
that's in orbit now that we don't know about that's appeared that's causing trouble? That can either work to the team's advantage or it can work against the team. Like, the pirates probably know that there's a cold zone there too. They patrol this region. They scout this region for targets. If they've already delved into the Poison Sea and found where the elementals are, they might be trying to do things to specifically set up this circumstance to cause this relatively isolated community to become confused and disarrayed so that it's easier for them to attack it, perhaps. Or the team could ally with the ice elementals and get them to push away the Drow or the pirates or any other threat that comes up. They may be able to make allies out of them if they play it right. It's a Dominion campaign. I technically don't care. I put a cold zone out there, which probably means there's ice elementals of unknown size, unknown motives, and unknown disposition. And the team's just going to do whatever they're going to do. It might not be their priority for a while. It could become their priority. But to go explore it takes them away from protecting their community. There could be pirates that are waiting for them to do that so that they have weakened defenses so they're easy to pick off. While you're off fucking around playing diplomacy with ice cubes, your people are getting, wrecked by pirates. So got to build up their defenses to hold off the pirates so you can wander away. That might take a couple levels to pull off. So that's the idea there. So Far Hope. There we go. We need, let's see. We need a capital building here. Far Hope Capital sounds stupid. Let's see. What can we call it? What's a fun second rank facility that we can install? Laboratory, guild hall. We can't get the observatory until 3rd rank. Spy network, theater, training area. Is there? Let's see. Is it just an extension of Capital Rock? Yes, it is. So Far Hope, unique bastions, and how did I frame this? Governing bastion of, thank you. Governing bastion of Far Hope. I need a better name. Is it named after a person? Yes, it is. How about, is it a dwarven thing? No. Is it a gnomish thing? No. Is it a warforged thing? Yes, it is. The 3 species that are common here are warforged, gnomes, and dwarves. Those are our starting races. So Far Hope Capital is named after Warforged. How about Steely Watch? No. Steely? Yes. I'm just rolling dice here just to stimulate my brain. Trying to think of a name for the capital, like the building itself, or like the organization that's running the place. So, how about Steelhammer? Nope. How about Copper Pick? Tool? Is it tool based? So it's a steely tool. No. How about Damn it, I'm getting caught up on this. All right, I'm just going to fill it in for now. Farhope capital Farhope. Farhope. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it actually just named Farhope? Yes. So the rock's named Farhope, named after the bastion that started here. Was Farhope like was Farhope a fortress at one point? No. Was Farhope a like a druid sanctum? Yes, it was. Interesting. And Farhope, it's 3rd rank. Yes. One, two, three, four. Governing 3rd rank. Third rank. So it's going to have anywhere from 20 to 30 points. So it has 22 points. It's 3rd rank, so 3 equals government, 3 equals settlement, 3 equals, it's got a forest, that's perfect. Sanctum, it's got a 3rd rank sanctum, I love that. That's 23, it's gonna have a 2nd rank barracks. Second rank garden. 2nd rank workshop. 2nd rank storehouse. 2nd rank guild hall. It's going to have a pocket of 3 bastion points for rerolls and extra orders. Lifestyle. Always have to maintain a lifestyle. We're also being issued the harvest order to gather food, and we're also a settlement automatically generates enough food for itself by maintaining a lifestyle. So we're seeing that it's expending an order for lifestyle. It's also it's also got to expend points. So let's see, poor is worth 1 point. Modest, comfortable, wealthy, aristocratic. I'm going to say it's comfortable. So we're going to put 3 points into lifestyle. Comfortable. Once per month. I have to re-roll. Since it's a 2nd rank community, we have to, even if we spend points to maintain a lifestyle, we have to roll every month to maintain that lifestyle. So we have an order for lifestyle to maintain, which currently is comfortable. And once we establish that lifestyle, we've locked that order down. And it stays, and since we spent 3 points, it can stay locked as a comfortable lifestyle for the community for 1 month. At the end of that month, I have to roll again, and it could decrease the value of the lifestyle, and if it does, it creates complications. Or if I roll higher, I could improve the lifestyle for the community, and I could then spend extra points to lock in that lifestyle for a month. If it's a worse if it's a worse result, then I could lock that lower lifestyle in for less points, and then next week decide to roll again anyway to see if I can roll better, and if I do, lock in those better points. But if I don't and it becomes worse again, then I create another complication, and these could be themes for which the adventure is built from. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 points out of our 19, so we have 8 points left. So we could potentially have 2, 2, 2, and 2. No, we pocketed 3. So we can have 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We got 5 points left. There, 2, 2, and 1. And this is just the community. These are structures that exist inside of the community as a whole that is controlled by the government in general. The garden and we want a greenhouse, because these add die rolls. These improve our die rolls for our harvesting check that we have as an ongoing order. So we have our lifestyle, we have harvest for the extra food, and we also have recruit, because we're trying to bring people from Capital Rock to Farhope. So that's a recruiting action, and depending on how high we roll, determines how many people are going to make that migration. And again, we only need 7? We only need to have 7 people show up. So next, like the first week will be as it is. The following Bastion turn, it's very possible that Farhope will get enough population to be able to click over to second rank and upgrade all its facilities. And if the players want to be involved in doing that, like if they want to modify their defenses or expand their scouting ability or focus in on anything else, they'll be third rank, so they can add third rank facilities to the place, like make it a weapon center or an observatory for scrying, or however they want to play it. Capital Rock is what it is right now. The real growth opportunities in Farhope. So there you go. Greenhouse, let's see. Workshop, storehouse, greenhouse. What else? Oh, pub, of course. Do they have a theater here? Yes, they do. Theater. Only first rank. That makes sense. Right on. Okay, so pub, theater, maintaining a lifestyle, pocketing 3 points for rerolls in case any of these orders fail, or if a complication occurs, instead of trying to reroll it, they would then be able to issue another order to try to resolve the complication. So that takes care of the community in general. Now we want to look at Farhope. This was a druid's sanctum, a grove of some sort. So maybe it should be themed around that. Okay. How about Prophet's Rock? Doesn't like that. How about Willow's Glade? Doesn't like Willow's Glade either. How about Mistletoe? No. Berry. Berry root? Nope. Berry. How about Berry Glen? Hey, it loves that name. Berry Glen.
That's the name of the governing bastion of Farhope. It's called Barry Glen. So, government, settlement, sanctum, barracks. It's got 22 points to its name. That's a lot of firepower. We're gonna give you pocket 3 BP. Let's see. Stable makes sense. Do you have a spy network? Yes, you do. We have the sanctum. What about like a sacristy? It has a sacristy. How many points is that? 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, 18, 19, 22. How about that? Oh shit, I don't have a barracks. Oh, unique structures is going to be Far Keep. Love it. Far Keep. This is our defense structure here. And Far Keep is second rank? Is it third rank? Okay. Second rank. That's not how I do this. Hold on. How did I do this? Second rank, 15 points. Citadel. Orders. The second rank so it has 3 orders. So one order always has to be lifestyle. One rank is going to go into scouting. And trade. No? Orders. 1, lifestyle, as always. 1 is going to be trade, which is going to be with Capital Rock, third rank. Shit, I need to spend points on that. I need to get rid of the stables. And I need to drop the spy network down to 1. We'll get rid of that. We're going to keep the spy network. We're going to get rid of the meditation chamber. 3 equals trade route, Capital Rock, third rank. Shit. Okay, I do need to drop this down to 1. I have to drop the government down to 2 and the settlement down to 2. Trade route. And 3 equals maintain lifestyle comfortable. Oh yeah. No wait. Yeah, yeah. It has to maintain it. It has to maintain its own lifestyle as well. Citadel second rank has to maintain its own lifestyle. So it's going to put pocket 2 BP, and it's going to have 2 equals lifestyle modest. It is a military fortress after all. 2 equals barracks. That's going to be up to.
It could be up to 100.
Got 57 troops. 2 equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. Cool. Barry Glen doesn't need a barracks. So we can push the spy network to 2, and we can bring back the meditation chamber. Yeah, the community itself doesn't have a barracks. The barracks is on the Citadel Far Keep itself. Yeah, 57 troops. Armory. Smithy. Does this have a smithy already? No, they don't. So we have to go to Far Keep for the smithy. Armory, smithy. Do they have a workshop? Yeah, they have a workshop. Training area. That makes sense. And trophy room. So they have lifestyle for themselves. They're maintaining scouting and
are they recruiting or trading? Are they recruiting? Yes, they're recruiting.
Recruiting more troops. Scouting. Southwestern reaches. So that's what the Citadel is doing. This has a third order, so it has lifestyle.
Is it empowering? Is it creating magic items? No, it's not. Is it harvesting?
Yes, it is. Oh, harvest. Okay. Using druidic magic to help enhance crop production. So that takes care of Barry Glen. That takes care of Far Hope's general structures. That's 2 structures. This is a
Second rank community, so I want to roll a D6 plus 1. 1 for the governing bastion, and then D6 to see how many other independent structures there are. Like Far Keep is a structure, is like its own bastion. Barry Glen is its own bastion. So I'll have D6. If it was a first rank community, it'd be D4 plus 1. Second rank community, D6 plus 1. Third rank community, D8 plus 1. D10 plus 1. Fifth rank is D12 plus 1. And I rolled a 3.
So I've got 1 for Far Keep. I've got 3 more, so I have 2 more distinct unique bastions. And then that will flesh out this whole side. And then we'll move on to a different subject. So let's see. Fell Tower Fortress. Berry Glen. Okay, so we're gonna have we're gonna have 2 more unique bastions in general, or two unique structures inside the settlement. There could be like multiple pubs and stuff, but like if we have a significant pub, like this is a standing, like this is the #1 pub in town or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since it's a second rank community, I'm going to roll 4d6 and count amongst the first and second rank facilities to see which one this is outstanding. And I got a 12. So we'll count through the first and second ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A meditation chamber. Interesting. Ooh, Temple of the Open Hand. First rank. Is it first rank or is it? I think I'm gonna make it second rank. Yeah, we're gonna make it second rank. Ooh, this is fun. Second rank. So it's got D10 plus 10, 13. So it's got 13 BP. So Temple of the Open Hand. This is going to have a 2 equals meditation chamber. And 2, it's going to have a training area. 2, it's going to have a sanctuary. Let's see. 2 equal 1 equals lifestyle, poor, pocket, 3 bastion points, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Garden, laboratory. And trophy room. Okay, so Temple of the Open Hand. This is, and then order. This is a monk's temple. So you have druids and you have monks that are on this that have established themselves as seats of power. So this is going to have. I should actually, instead of a laboratory, I should have a second barracks. Instead of a trophy room, I should have an armory. And this is going to be $28 fighting monks. So there's 28, basically 28 monks of the open hand, anywhere of up to 5th level in power, basically. Like up to CR, up to CR5 as NPCs or as characters up to 5th level. And then the armory makes sense at first rank because monks use simple weapons, and they have the poor lifestyle because monks don't, they suffer. But the meditation chamber is ramped up, the training area is ramped up, sanctuary is ramped up, and the barracks is ramped up. So this is additional soldier mercenaries that can be equipped if necessary, or pulled from for player replacements if needed. I like that. Okay, so orders. There's 3 orders. 1 always equals lifestyle. Once per month. 1 point, and then 1 point. Are these guys, are they empowering anything? Yes, they are.
Empowering. They can make up to uncommon magic items of up to 400 gold pieces of value, typically. Empowering. They're making jackets of cold resistance. The meditation chamber can empower you with. Here, hold on. Let's just go take a look. I'll show you. So a second rank meditation chamber. Menagerie. Meditation chamber. Divine Contemplation. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of a divine charm. Unique facility benefits and a power order to create a magic item. You can roll an additional Bastion die. And I can recruit to attract adept sidekicks. That might be a decent idea. Lifestyle, empower, and recruit adepts. No, it was a training area that provides the character bonuses. Hold on. Oh, no, it was the creature menagerie. That's right. Hold on. The menagerie. Downtime activity. Resistance training. The character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains resistance to one type of damage appropriate to one of the creatures recruited here. Is that what I want to do? Empowering. Jackets of cold resistance. No, this is right. We want to recruit adepts to help bolster up our magic capabilities, and we're using empowering to create jackets of cold resistance. So this is a magic item that we want to be able to provide to people. So let's go down to magic item construction. This is a wondrous item. Arcane Study, Reliquary, Sanctuary, Sacristy, Smithy, Workshop. I think a Sanctuary would qualify. Let's go back to Sanctuary to see what Sanctuaries can construct, what kind of magic items Sanctuaries can create. Nature's Blessing. Empower. You can issue the Empower order to create a druidic magical item, holy water, potions, rods, scrolls, staff, wands, wondrous items. So we could make, as a wondrous item, a resist elements type magical item that could be used to help people that need to be in the cold. So once this is taken care of, like if the team gets favor from the Temple of the Open Hand, the characters could get cold resistance items. So if you fly into Frisia, you won't have to worry about cold checks while they're there because you'll have a magic item that takes care of being cold. Thoughtful monks. And those are their orders. So that was one. And now we have one more location, a unique facility. So we're going to go back to our list of facilities. There we go. And we're going to do 2d4, 46 again. And count through the first and second rank to see what other interesting thing is there. Ooh, wow. 22. 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Storehouse. Okay, so this is an independent storehouse. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Is it an antique? Ooh, is this like an actual artificer's? Ooh.
This is going to be Mage Rights. Workshop. And this is
it first, second, or third rank?
second rank.
And it has 10 plus D10.
13 BP. 2 equals no. Lifestyle. And then we'll give you a pocket of 2 Bastion points. That's 5. That means I have 8 points left. 2, 2, 2, 2. Equals. So workshop. Laboratory. Smithy. Arcane study. So this is literally it's a mage rights workshop. It has all the facilities you need to make basically any kind of magic item that you want. Anything of material value of 400 gold or less. Maintaining a comfortable lifestyle for themselves. Order. Always have to maintain a lifestyle. One month. Let's go with craft.
What? Boats?
So we're crafting fishing boats.
That's going to be
1 per month. And empower.
Are we empowering stuff?
Minor helm. Well, I need to check the creation, the time of creation for that. Okay, I can make a boat and a minor helm once per week. Yeah, 400 gold for a boat. Does that feel right? Let's hold on. Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. And preview. And let's go down to Spelljamming Ships. And let's look at materials, cost of materials. 100 gold per 5 feet.
We can make a 20-foot vessel in 1 week, a 20-foot craft in 1 week. 20 foot, that means 40 foot in 2 weeks. And a maximum size of 50 feet in 3 weeks. So we're making a fishing craft every 3 weeks, 1 per 3 weeks. I could 100 gold per 5 feet, 40 feet. I can make a 40 foot. Workshop and smithy. Huh. The workshop can make, oh boy, I'm overclocking my resources. Yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah, well, let's have to do that. We can build a boat every 2 weeks, and we can empower a Spelljamming Helm every week. So every 2 weeks, we're able to put out a new boat that can be used to do more fishing. And this Mage Rights workshop does a lot of repair work for like the mining organizations and stuff. So right now, it's making boats. That makes sense to me. And hey, those are the major facilities. There would be like, there's 900 some odd people. There's going to be like more than one pub, but they're not standouts, so they just become part of the milieu, as it were. Since I have pubs of second rank inside of the community in general, that means that there are basically like 2-star hotels and dive bars across the area. So there's storehouses in general, not just like one storehouse. The Far Hope is just basically saying there are general. It's not unusual to see those things here. It's expected. And then we have the standout unique bastions, which don't have to comply with anything that's in just the common occurrence of the town. These are particular standout locations that are potentially worth characters' interest because of what they can potentially provide for the characters or negotiate with. Like Barry Glen is the capital, so you want to go there to influence decisions about the community. Farkeep can provide you with soldiers and equipment. The Temple of the Open Hand, it's monks. They can provide you with all sorts of stuff. And then the Mage Rights Workshop, it can produce stuff for you, uncommon magic items, give it time. So, like they could tap the Mage Rights Workshop in Farhope to start building stuff for them so that the following Bastion turn, if they're successful in creating it, they can pick up that piece of equipment if they need it. If they need new mecha stuff, like if they want to upgrade their flying citadel to have better mecha hangars, for instance, they could lean into the Mage Right Workshop to help them upgrade the fortress. So, yeah, there we go. And where are we at? Hour and 45 minutes. It's just past 8 o'clock. This feels like a decent spot. This feels like a decent space to stop. We're slowly but surely building out building out the community where this campaign is going to be operating. And so I'm going to log out. I'll be back tomorrow morning to work on a new piece of art for my Eberron adventure that we'll be publishing on the DMsGuild. And then, so that's Friday. Saturday morning, I'm going to be back. We're going to be working on the Martial Powers supplement. We're going to go through and update the class features and subclasses to make sure they're current, as well as going through some of the Unearthed Arcana, the new releases for the martial classes that they put out to see how they jive with the martial power system, what changes we might want to implement to further reflect the martial power system. Monday, I take off Sundays. Monday I'll be back and we'll be working, we'll be doing artwork in the morning, and then we'll be doing more Bastion Campaign, Spelljammer stuff in the evening. Next week, I think when we come back on Monday to do this, I think we're going to start in on the Dwarven Citadel and the Mecha, and then after that we'll work on the Kaiju. So I think that's about where we're at right now.
So that's it for now. Folks have been hanging out. I really appreciate anybody that swings by and checks this stuff out. I stream Monday through Fridays in the morning doing artwork. I do game design like this on Mondays and Thursday nights as well as on Saturday mornings. And so if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. And I hope to see some of you guys in the future. Thanks a lot.